Good evening, Melanie.
Good evening.
Hello, Zach, Natalie, and Amelia. Welcome.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
What a mess. Oh my God.
Go out.
So I just want to go on record saying I'm not wearing the same dress I was wearing in the picture with Debbie. It's the same color, but it's not the same dress. I promise. I just happen to like the color. Marie, where's Marie? Wayne's wearing a tie. Who are you and what have you done with Wayne?
You don't see that often, do you?
I don't see why. You look smashing.
Was threatened by Bryan Sanguinito.
Can you hear me? It's Lori.
Yes,
No?
but we
Why
can't see
can't
you.
yeah, why can't you see me?
You need to turn on your camera.
No, it's, look.
Yeah, the camera's off up here, but I don't know why.
Lori, go to the bottom and say.
There we go.
and turn them
There
turn
you
it
go.
on.
Oh my goodness, Lori, your hair got so long.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. It looks great.
Oh, thank you.
Now that she's retired, she can't afford haircuts.
I'm trying to look like Lane.
Good
That's
evening,
cool.
Sarah. Welcome. Hello, Downey family. Welcome and good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Mr. Kachmar, looking sharp.
The jacket's for you, Brian.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
I can relate to that feeling.
Hello, Marie Hutchings.
Hello, trying to get my video started.
Lori, you look surprised.
I noticed that too. I want the sun.
I am surprised. I forgot I was on mute. I wasn't expecting Marie.
There was actually no words coming out of your mouth. Your jaw was just open. So
I don't see her. She must be having the same problem I did.
Did you also have a problem? I'll fix it.
I don't know what I did, but something came up on the screen and I clicked on it and it worked.
Wayne Smith did not have any technological difficulty.
I got on no problem. But I asked my person that teaches across the hall for me named Val Morrow. She helped me get on. She told me what to do.
Sorry, my school uses Google Meet, so I am not not advanced in this.
There should be something at the bottom, Marie. It has a microphone and start video. All you need to do is click on your start video and you should be good.
Yeah, there's something wrong with my webcam. I might need to,
Okay.
yeah, fix my computer.
Okay.
Is anybody else wearing gym shorts from the waist down?
Bare feet.
I have bare feet and jeans. I'm not standing up for the pledge.
I was excited for the occasion. I'm all dressed. I'm ready to go
Good.
somewhere.
You look wonderful.
Look awesome, Melanie.
Thank you so much. I miss y'all.
It made me miss getting dressed up and going out. It's like now I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Right.
Here I am.
Hi, Marie.
Yay.
There you are.
Did you miss me? Thought you could get rid of me, but I'm here.
Why would we want to get rid of you? You're so much fun.
Oh, by the way, Lori Sherman. Lori Sherman.
Okay, yes.
Marie is presenting you tonight.
Aw, Marie, I'm gonna cry already. Aw,
Yeah, there's the tears.
yeah, we're just starting.
That's what it's about. Amelia, is that Mr. Bryan behind you? I thought I was seeing things.
Hi, Brian.
How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Very good. Good to see you.
And your gym shorts under that? Yeah.
No, I got the whole thing. The only thing I'm not allowed to do is wear shoes inside. Otherwise, I'm good to go. I gotta wear my suit sometime. I got enough of them.
Last hurrah here.
Yes, sir. I don't know what I'm gonna wear these suits for after this is over.
We have 2 more months.
Till August 31st.
Oh, it's August 31st. Okay.
Yes, sir. Got all these wonderful looking people. There's Debbie Trotter. Hi, Debbie.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Brian. Sandy and John, hi. Nice.
This is beautiful. Okay, we are going to start in 1 minute. As soon as the PowerPoint turns off, our treasurer is going to start the ceremony. Mr. Treasurer, it is all you, sir.
All right, that's my cue. All right, well, good evening, everybody. Great to see you. And it's an honor to welcome you to our virtual 2021 PSEA Eastern Region Scholarship and Awards Banquet. I should note, it's awesome to see everybody dressed in shirts and ties and dresses and looking so dapper, especially since this year, a lot of us have been teaching and seeing students sitting in bed with hoods as we're teaching. So wonderful to see all this awesome dress. So as you may be aware, Bear Creek Resort traditionally hosts this event where we would come together and have a great meal, have some beverages, share stories with friends and colleagues, and obviously honor the amazing students and supporters of PSEA's Eastern Region. Coronavirus has, unfortunately, forced our event to be held virtually. So tonight, we may be socially distanced, but we are all physically present to celebrate the hard work and accomplishments of the stellar students receiving the coveted Eastern Region Scholarship, and also recognizing our 2020 and 2021 recipients of the Julia B. Miles Champion for Children and Eastern PSEA Presidential Legacy Awards. To all of our scholarship and award recipients, you inspire us each and every day. Your commitment to public education is evident, and we all applaud your achievements. Tonight, let us all smile, laugh, cry tears of joy, and share virtual hugs as we celebrate you. So let's get this program started. Without any further ado, let me turn the Zoom floor over to your Eastern Region Secretary, Amy Hicks, for a Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, good evening, everybody. If you would all take a moment to join me with saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Let me close that.
Yay.
I pledge
Pledge of
allegiance
allegiance
to the
to the
flag
flag
of the United
States
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Sean?
And now I will turn it over to Sean. She is going to lead us with invocation and the land acknowledgement. Sean?
Good evening, everybody. It's so good to see you. I too wish it was in person, but I'm glad that we're all here. I'm actually going to start with the land acknowledgement and then the benediction. And then I have a poem. Don't worry, I didn't write it. Truly, I didn't. We begin by acknowledging that we in the Eastern Region meet on the traditional lands served by the Lenape Native people. We honor America's first people and all elders past, present, and emerging, and we are called on to learn and share what we learn about the tribal history and culture and contributions that have been suppressed in telling the story of America. Let us pray to the God of our understanding. Bless us, please, on this day and at this time, as we celebrate the achievements of those who are beginning their journey, as well as those who have given so much to so many over time. We thank you that we are able to gather this year at just a little closer than last, and pray that next year we will be able to see our friends and family in person. Finally, may you gift us with health and happiness in the days to come. So I've been jamming on Amanda Gorman these days, and I happen to be listening to like an old cast of hers that she did at the Summer Academy in 2018, which put her at all of 21. And it was a little change of a poem that she wrote in 2017 for International Day of Girls. I think that's what it was. And I love the way she changed it and I think it speaks to us as educators. It's called the power of firsts. Power unfurls in a boy or a girl at school like the first pages of a book unwritten. They are a story waiting to ignite. An educated student is like the question the first rain tosses at the earth after the drought. Are you ready to begin again? The student who dreams to be the first in her family to go to school is the most vivid of all things, like the one red spark that stands up to the sky in a chorus of wet logs. A student who graduates college is like the first wave to hug the shore after a hurricane, whispering the coming of better things. These we know as truths, not wonders. The miracle isn't just in you being the first, it is in you seeing that which is non-existent. It is in the student seeing the blank space of an untouched sky and sculpting their own dreams into nothingness. The student who is the first is a vision in and of themselves. These students don't want to be unbelievable, they want to be believed in. For educated people, not to be a marvel, but a movement. After all, you don't know how strong the willow tree is until you see her arms dance in the face of a storm. We remember this and more so that we might imagine a day without such firsts, where the wind opens the floodgate for the river of students behind them. We are here not to be the first, but to refuse to be the last. And I'm going to turn it over to Bryan, I assume.
Thank you, Sean. That was beautiful. Good evening. Our mission in Eastern Region PSEA is to promote the promise of public education for the members and students we serve. Back in the 2016-17 school year, your Eastern PSEA officer team, all of whom are represented here this evening, thought what better way to promote that promise than by championing the accomplishments of our members and their children. That is how we came up with the idea for our scholarship banquet and awards ceremony, which we are all for the first time attending virtually this evening. We wanted to recognize union leaders who, through countless hours of dedication and commitment to the important business of our association, have left an indelible impression upon our region. That is why we created the Eastern PSEA Presidential Legacy Award, the recipient of which is chosen by the Eastern Region President and Executive Officer team. Your officers also wanted to recognize leaders within our association who have gone above and beyond to advocate for and make life better for the young people entrusted to our care. That is why we created the Champion for Children Award, named posthumously after an amazing union leader and champion for children herself, Julia Miles. And we established a student scholarship program to recognize the children of our members who are graduating from a high school represented by PSEA. Chosen anonymously, the criteria for which student is eligible for which award is based not on where that student attends school, but rather in which county their parent or step-parent works. We are honored to once again recognize 5 outstanding young women and men this evening who will each have a $1,000 check placed into their account at their chosen institution of higher learning. To introduce tonight's first student scholarship recipient, it is my pleasure to call upon an outstanding individual in her own right, our Eastern Region Professional Rights and Responsibilities Chairperson and my friend, Melanie Scuba.
Thank you, Bryan, so much. Please let me start by saying I am so grateful and privileged to be here. During Bryan's tenure as president, he has had Eastern Region rise to new heights, and this evening is certainly an example of that, and I thank you. At the same time, I must also give my regrets because I am on the PR&R committee, and of all things, this is our committee weekend and our meeting has started. And so I do have to leave a little early, which makes me very sad because I not only wanted to celebrate our 5 academically gifted students, but looking at the people receiving the awards, Deb and Sandy have done so much for Eastern Region. And working with Lori, with her grace and her knowledge, she helped us so much with bylaws and constitutions. What could have been a painful process ended up being a truly enjoyable learning experience. And I promise you, there are not enough hours in the day to extol the virtues of Wayne and Elaine. These are 2 people who are truly helpful and selfless. However, what I do have is pride. And I am so proud to be here to introduce y'all to Natalie Hydro, the Tamaqua area senior who is the recipient of the Schuylkill County Scholarship. I am but one of Natalie's AP teachers this year, and I've been privileged to have her in class, and I've been privileged to watch her progress and succeed throughout high school. She is a member of our National Honor Society, also the National Honor Societies of Science, English, and Spanish, an officer of our World Language and Biology Club. She was elected by her peers to our student government and elected by her peers, the teachers, and the administration to our Honor Card Review Committee because she is respectful and we truly respect and honor her. She is also a captain of our cross-country team, which I must fully admit is a sport that is not in my wheelhouse. So my admiration for her extends to athletics. She is a true scholar athlete. The thing is with Natalie, she loves learning. And it's not just a test, it's not just a grade for a unit or even a year, but she loves the process. It's the concepts, it's the linking, it's the integration, it's the expansion. And she's going to take this love of learning from Schuylkill County and travel to Villanova in the fall, where her options are absolutely limitless. Now, she's interested in applied psychology, but whether she goes for the counseling or medicinal or forensic part of it, the thing that she'll take with her is a part of all of us, Tamaqua, Schuylkill County, and Eastern Region, her family and her community, because she understands the support that's needed for success. And the great thing about Natalie is that she is going to give back. Whether dealing with Natalie individually, large group, small group, or even in a Socratic environment, which is very difficult for high school students, she succeeds. She understands that being a leader means having everyone else achieve as well. During this pandemic, there's been a cliche that has become so trite, saying we're all in this together. The thing with Natalie is that she is so learned and respectful and has the drive, the determination, that she has the ability to change that from a platitude to a true attitude to a reality. When she leaves Tamaqua and Schuylkill County and Eastern Region, and she graduates with her bachelor's, master's, and beyond, she will give back. She will give that diligence and that drive to her family, her friends, community, and our society. And I truly believe she is one of those people that will be a force in our culture. She understands support and she will give it. It is with humbleness and honor that I introduce you to our Tamaqua area high school recipient of the Schuylkill County Eastern Region PSEA Scholarship, Miss Natalie Hydro.
Thank you, Mrs. Cuba. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to start by thanking the committee for selecting me for this scholarship. I am very honored. And before I read my essay, I would just like to thank Mrs. Scuba for introducing me and attending this with me. I'm very grateful for you as a teacher. Public education has been a prominent part of my life for the past 12 years. Out of those last 12 years, I have devoted countless hours and energy into my schooling. I have been fortunate enough to have been able to attend public schools since first grade. Now at the final half of my senior year, I can optimistically say that I am confident into stepping into the next chapter of my life after high school. The lifelong friends, knowledge, and lessons have shaped me who I am today, not only as a student, but as a young adult. However, along with any schooling, there will be challenges to face. The long nights, early mornings, weekends full of schoolwork, AP tests, etc., were mentally and physically exhausting nonetheless. Looking back on the past 4 years, I've come to the realization that obstacles like those have actually benefited me by preparing me for the future. If there is one thing that my public education has taught me, is that you get what you work for. Keeping that in the back of my mind allows me to persevere through the school days, especially this year. The teachers I have had over the last 12 years has had an impact on me one way or another. Specifically in the last 4 years, I have considered most of my teachers to be mentors to me. Even if it wasn't about their class, I would never hesitate to approach them when I needed help or advice. I began to realize that they not only care about how I was doing in their class, but also as a whole person. Little conversations with my teachers would often change my mood for the day. With all the new obstacles that students and teachers have had to face this year, I have become more appreciative of how much they care and do for their students. With teaching being their living, they have no choice but to learn along with the rest of us. Even though technology can take some time to understand, the opportunity for new learning platforms, curriculum, resources, and so much more will be available for the classroom. And although public education has seen a whole new form of schooling, I am hopeful and confident that the teachers will adapt and find their new normal again. Along with observing teachers from a student perspective, I have also experienced the rewarding and frustrating times through a daughter's perspective. Public education has always been spotlighted and as a priority in our family, both for my mom as her job and for my brother and I as students. It is her passion and our livelihood. I've seen the countless nights she spent grading, planning, and contacting families, and I know that the teachers that I have done the very same. They think about their students every day, every month, and even on their breaks. Her dedication is very inspiring to me, and it has pushed me to become more invested in my education. Ever since I was young, I knew that I would want to work with kids, for I have always loved being around them. Even though I will not be pursuing a degree in education, I have been planning on majoring in occupational therapy. I have hopes of working with children in a school setting, for I feel as though I will still thrive in a school building 10 years from now. And I would just also like to congratulate all the other recipients and wish them a great end to their senior year and best of wishes in college too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And because mom works in Carbon County, even though you go to school in Schuylkill County, you actually are the recipient of the Carbon County Award. So thanks, Mom, that we can have two wonderful Schuylkill County students receiving this award this year.
Yes,
Now
thank
it's
you.
my pleasure to introduce our third representative, Sean Kerbin.
Good evening again. It is my privilege and pleasure and honor to introduce Debbie Tretter for the 2020 Eastern PSEA Presidential Legacy Award. Debbie's retired, and she didn't retire last year, but the year before, but we still thought she was pretty cool. This isn't the first time I have done this, and I love talking about Debbie, and I love introducing Debbie. But first, I have to say something that you would never hear out of very many Democrats' mouths. I want to thank Tom Corbett. And I want to thank Tom Corbett because I know, right? It was because of his budget cuts. Oh, wait, he gave us $1 billion, whatever it was. It was because of him that I ended up on a bus going up to Harrisburg to talk to people about the loss of the arts, of art, music, PE, library. And it was on that bus that I started gabbing, as I am wont to do, with this teeny little dark-haired woman and having a grand old time. And I later found out, and it was later that I found out, oh, that's our president. I knew nothing about the union, nothing. I hadn't needed to, but when I needed to, Debbie was there. And she was just, we clicked, and she taught me a lot just in those few days about talking to people and how And I still have to remember this. They put on their pants one leg at a time. I'm not very good at that, but I try to channel my inner Debbie when I talk to people like that. And finally, she invited me to come work with her. And I consider myself a legacy of Debbie. I try to be tenacious. I try to know what I'm doing. I try to always learn, and I try to be open and help people and to fight for them and to champion my teachers. And in championing my teachers, they champion their students. And I look back to this little tiny dark-haired woman who taught me so much. And I know in my heart that I would not be where I am today as third rep in the Eastern region if it wasn't for Debbie. And so for that, my friend, thank you. Debbie Tretter.
Thank you, Sean. That was very nice. And all of you in Eastern Region, Bryan, everyone who put this award ceremony together. I'm very honored to have this award. I wish it was under different circumstances like we did in the past, but hey, it was great of you guys to put all of this together. And I really, really appreciate the award very much. I do have something to share with the students, the scholarship students, if I could for a few minutes. And it goes like this. I never expected to be receiving an award for my work or anything else in my life when I was starting out at your age. When we're young, we start out with a plan. Everybody here tonight, the adults, started out with a plan. But as you will see, there are going to be many times during your life that you will be surprised by an idea or an opportunity or something else that is going to change your plan. Don't be afraid to accept that moment of serendipity. And that's kind of what Sean was just talking about. Serendipity was on that bus. I started out my career as a registered nurse. I was a nurse for 12 years, but I truly always wanted to be a teacher. So when I moved to Pennsylvania, I went back to school to become a special education teacher. When I was teaching at Roosevelt Elementary School in Allentown, I became friends with a teacher who was going to be retiring soon. And she took me to a union meeting because she thought that I would be a good person to take over her responsibilities when she retired. And that's why I'm here tonight. It's all about paying it forward, isn't it, Sean? I loved the union world, and I became a member of our union's executive committee. I also met leaders from the Lehigh Valley Labor Council and became involved with the community labor movement. From there, I became involved politically to help elect union-friendly and education-friendly political candidates. One summer day, summer's off, I thought to myself, I think I want to take a chance and run for president of my union. It was a big idea, had to think about it a lot, had to talk to some people, but I did it. I won, and I stayed in that position for 10 years, so a long time in Allentown. And then I retired in 2019. That work that I did, the last 10 years of my work life, defined the person that I am. And I am so grateful for that. My message to you, students, is don't be afraid to take a chance. Let it happen if it's the right thing for you, and you'll know if it is or not. It's going to bring you a lot of happiness. And I have one more thing to share with you. Try to surround yourself with other people who share your vision and your passion, and sometimes those that may not agree with your vision or your passion. But it's really important to have people around you for your own well-being. I have to accept this award tonight on behalf of all the people who supported AEA while I was the president. Carolyn Schaefer, beginning with Carolyn Schaefer, who was our office manager, executive assistant. She was in that position for almost 30 years when she retired, the same day that I did. And our executive committee and our AEA members, our membership. Most of all, our building representatives were really the backbone of our organization. They watched, they had their eyes open, they had their ears open, and our job was to protect our contract by protecting our members. My blood pressure's down. John Gockenbach, you will be happy to know that. Blood pressure's down, weight is up, but I still have dreams, a lot of dreams about my work at AEA. That being said, the most frequent dream that I've had lately is that the district, Allentown School District, would not let me retire unless I gave them one more year in the classroom. Therefore, I wake up in a panic and a cold sweat because I could not do what all of you have done for the past year. And kudos to all of you that are still in those classrooms. Congratulations to all of the other recipients tonight, and good luck to the students. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Debbie.
Thank you.
The plaque reads, Eastern Region PSEA proudly honors Debbie Treader as the recipient of the 2020 Eastern PSEA Presidential Legacy Award in recognition of outstanding dedication and commitment to our members and association. Congratulations once again.
That's beautiful, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Tori Simmons, who will be talking about our next student recipient.
Hi, my name's Tori Simmons, and I'm a fourth grade teacher in the Parkland School District. And tonight I am pleased to introduce my son, Zachary Simmons. He is a recipient of the scholarship, and I can't tell you how thrilled my husband and I are and how proud about this honor that he's received from PSEA. Really, truly, as we've been looking closely at financials for college, we truly understand how much this helps and are very blessed. We are very appreciative of PSEA and of public education in general. As a parent, rather than Zach's teacher, I have to go into a little bit of his way background. And Zach was born as a preemie. He was 10 weeks early. He was 2.5 pounds. So he was this teeny tiny little thing. And his early years were a little bit scary, but we were always supported by early intervention services and, eventually then by public education. And the fact that we always knew that services were available, that the teachers that Zach has had in the East Penn School District were there for him, were wonderful, became teachers, became mentors, was always such a wonderful thing for him. Today, just last week, Zach turned 18 years old, and we are super proud of so many accomplishments that he's had. He just had a straight A report card, the midst of this pandemic environment, which we know is not easy for anyone. But he just committed to Millersville University and was super excited about that. He's also a talented musician, and part of a band. He has these gigs and he writes songs, and it's amazing to see him develop as a musician as well. He also, of course, is a kind and thoughtful person, and that makes his dad and I so proud. So I'm very proud to introduce Zach tonight, and I thank you all for having us.
I just want to start by thanking everyone here. Just because, we couldn't do this without every one of us. And it's really cool that we're able to do this virtually amidst all the craziness that's going on. Just want to give a special thanks to my family who's sitting around the table with me right here. I just want to give special thanks to them for supporting me and always being there for me. And yeah, I'm going to read my essay. The public education system is something that almost every American has gone through and experienced. It molds our young minds into the people we hope to become, and it teaches us how to function as members of society. Nothing is strong without a foundation, and public education is the foundation that we use to strengthen the next generation and our own futures. Someday I'm going to be an old man, too frail to mow my lawn or shovel my snow, and too cranky to even think about doing it myself. At that time, I would really hope to look for a polite and educated young person to help me out when I'm like that. And if public education didn't exist, the amount of people that would help my cranky old self would deteriorate over time. And not just because they learned what 2 + 2 equals in elementary school, but because public education really teaches kids how to interact with each other, teaches them to respect their elders and recognize when someone is in need. Public education is what children build their life around, and if it were taken away, our society would crumble like an old building with no foundation. Public education is a major part of my family and home life. My sister and I are both students, and my parents are both teachers. My mom knew what she wanted to do with her life from a very, very, very early age, and she went into the education field right after high school. My dad, on the other hand, started his college career with a business degree and ended up managing stores for Sherwin-Williams. Shortly after I was born, however, he realized that his current job didn't allow for much family time, and he looked for a change. This led him to his current job teaching business and accounting at Kutztown High School. Like anything, having two teachers in my house definitely has its ups and downs. One benefit was definitely being able to stay home with both my parents during the summers instead of going to like a summer camp or daycare. And up until middle school, I thought that was such an awesome thing to be able to spend every single summer day with my parents. But around that, like those teenage years, I realized it was every summer day, and so that's where the troubles kind of began. But all just jokes aside, public education is what my parents decided to make careers out of. And I think that it's very inspiring that they take the time every day to make the world a better place, not just for my sister and I, but for all of their own students as well. Lastly, I want to talk about why public education matters to me. And I'm going to narrow this topic down to my personal experiences so I can go a little further in depth. Right now, I'm a senior at Emmaus High School, and I'm hoping to study music production and music business in college. I just recently committed to Millersville. And I truly feel that I might not have discovered this passion of mine for music if I had like gone to a different school district. And I'm forever grateful that I went to school at East Penn. My elementary school, Jefferson, was excuse me, was always pushing us to try new things, and that was when I stumbled upon our school play. Um, Within days, my whole life was flooded with Oliver Twist. And, and for the first time in my life, I needed to practice singing songs, not just like for my own enjoyment at home, but like for an audience, which was a pretty scary thought at that time. And the show went about as well as an elementary school musical could go. And I knew that I wanted to make music a bigger part of my life. Fast forward 5 years, and I'm on stage as the lead role in my middle school spring musical called Me and My Girl. My journey in musical theater really helped me understand and develop a love for making music, and the public schools that I went to really opened my eyes to this passion and helped develop it throughout what I hope will be the rest of my life. Public education is the reason that I love what I do, and it's the reason both my parents wake up every morning knowing that they have jobs. I can only imagine what it will do for the future of America.
Congratulations, young man. I want to let you know you have a few Millersville grads here tonight with you, and even one who studied music. So
Awesome.
it's wonderful. It's you'll do wonderfully great.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. It is now my honor to introduce an old friend of Eastern Region and an honorary member of Eastern Region, Marie Hutchings.
Thank you so much, Brian, for inviting me tonight to introduce Lori Sherman as the recipient of the 2020 Champion for Children Award. Eastern PSEA really is my home, and you all are truly my family. And ever since my college years, Eastern PSEA has shown up for me in all of the toughest times, so it's only appropriate that I get to spend tonight with all of you. And I'm even more excited that I get to spend it in this way. We often say that teaching is the profession that creates all other professions. But there's something special about a teacher who goes out of her way to better the profession from the inside out. From her kindergarten classroom to the lecture halls of Kutztown University, Lori has made herself a champion for children in every sense possible. She has led so many young children to accomplish their dreams and inspired just as many aspiring educators to find their voice and passion. In Student PSEA, we had a word for someone like Lori, servant leader. A servant leader is someone who cultivates new leaders and ensures that the future of their organization is left in better hands than their own. As a former Student PSEA member, I can speak to the impact Lori had on so many aspiring educators in Eastern PSEA. She showed us firsthand what it meant to be an educator, to be a part of a union, and that as scary as this new profession may be, we were never alone. We had another word in Student PSEA. That word was agape. Agape is the highest, most unconditional form of love. It's the form of love I sought to lead with as the Student PSEA president, but I learned it first from Bryan and Lori, who I call my PSEA mom and dad. I feel that love through my bones every single day and know that because of them, Eastern PSEA will always be my home. Lori taught so many of us what it meant to be a champion for children. She invited us into her classroom, shared countless stories and words of wisdom, showed up to every single chapter meeting, and on a personal note, even bought me supplies for my very first classroom. Through her servant leadership, she has touched the hearts of thousands of children in classrooms of former Student PSEA members across the state. I personally can't thank Lori enough for the impact she's had on my life. That's why it is my honor to present her with the 2020 Julia B. Miles Champion for Children Award. But before I do, there's one more person who would like to say a few words.
Hey, Mama. I really don't think there's enough awards or plaques that you could receive in order to give you the proper recognition that you deserve, both on the educator side and as a union officer. But I just want to let you know that when I think about the impact that you've made, seeing the people that you've had an impact on, it's endless and your legacy is going to live on forever. I definitely think that the way that I've had such a great experience in education has been greatly influenced by you. And even though I'm one of them now as an administrator and as an HR director, I think often about things from the teacher perspective that definitely comes from you directly as a huge teacher advocate and union leader. So don't tell my school that, but I feel like I'm one of them and one of us at the same time. I have so many great memories in your classroom as both your son, the sort of resident celebrity, and just interacting with the kids, doing different activities, making things around the holidays with them. And I always loved every minute in your classroom, both as a 5-year-old, student member before I was even old enough to go to school, and then later in life when I was there helping you out. So many great memories with that. You're one of the best teachers I've ever had. I was able to read before I ever went to school. I know that's because of just working so closely with you and reading with you as a kid. And I'm really stoked that you're finally retired because I feel like this is the only way you were ever going to fully take advantage of your free time. And I definitely get that from you too. I'm always moving from here to there, packing my schedule with more things than I can even handle at times. It's definitely a spitting image of you, but finally you can enjoy retirement. You can enjoy time to yourself. Just know that I miss you greatly. I wish that we never had any situation that would keep me from you this long, but I feel like we're finally at the finish line and we're going to see you very soon. There is one other person that wants to say something before I say goodbye. So Jack, come on in, man.
Love and miss you, Mom. We're so proud of you.
We love you so much. Again, there is no amount of awards that you can receive that would ever fully capture your impact on education, but just know that we recognize how amazing you are every day, both as our mom and as a teacher and union leader. So that's all for now. Congratulations. We miss you. We'll see you soon.
Wow.
They're the worst. That's
Been a
so
long
sweet.
time since I've seen the boys, so it always gets me. For those of you who don't know, both of my sons live in Thailand, and due to the pandemic, it's been 15 months now since I've seen them. But I'll try to get my speech done. First, Marie, thank you so much for those lovely words. It meant so much. It's an honor to have been named the 2020 Julia B. Miles Champion for Children Award winner. When I thought about this award and what it means, the first word that comes to mind is passion. Julia was a friend of mine, and I can remember when this award came into being due to her passion. I've also witnessed the past recipients and worked alongside the 2021 winners of this award, and I am humbled to be mentioned in the same breath as them. First, I want to thank my family for always encouraging me and understanding when I wasn't home. I knew I had their support, and that meant a lot to me. A teacher friend of mine recently posted this quote on her Instagram page. It's a beautiful thing when a career and a passion come together. When I saw the quote, I thought, wow, I was so lucky that I had a career that I was passionate about. That career choice came to me at the age of 10 when I was in 5th grade. I had switched from parochial school to public school that year, and I was blessed to have Mrs. Holder as my teacher. My goal was to teach with the passion that Mrs. Holder did for our class, and my career choice never changed. I was also passionate about running. I ran cross country and track in high school and in college. My senior year in college, my high school coach called me at school to see if I wanted to coach cross country the next season. I was so excited to get a chance to work with high school girls that had the same interest as I did. I went on to coach girls cross country for 9 years, girls and boys indoor track, and girls outdoor track for 8 years. You could say that if I hadn't coached, I never would have met my husband, and he's hiding over here. We were introduced when he was receiving physical therapy for a broken ankle from our high school trainer. I went into the training room to discuss his boys' times from the last indoor track meet, as he was their outdoor coach. Since this is a family event, I can't say the first words that I heard my now husband whisper while I was talking to the trainer. Let's just say my teacher ears heard exactly what he said. We were introduced later, and the rest is history, as they say. I gave up coaching when I had my first son. It was important to me to be home with him after work. As time went by, I felt a desire to get involved in the union. My girlfriend asked me to be a building rep with her. You know, it's just one meeting a month. Later, when a position was left open on executive board, I was asked by another board member to consider that position since I had been proactive as a building rep. You know how it goes. It's just one additional meeting a month. Truth be told, I love those meetings. and I love representing others. I always said it's easier to represent someone else than it is to represent yourself. A few years ago, my local president said at an executive board meeting that we should both run for Eastern Region officer positions. I said, sure, I'd run for VP if he'd run for president. As it turned out, I ran for VP, and to my surprise, I was elected. I learned over the years that in order to be a passionate teacher, you must also be passionate in fighting for the rights of our students, our teachers, and our profession on a political level. Representing Eastern Region, working with the other officers and student PSEA were some of the best times in my career. I ended my career last year with virtual teaching and social distancing from the children and the people that I loved. In some ways, it made it easier to leave. For me, the level of passion I had for teaching is something that was always there and remained true to me for my career. My passion for union service would have never been possible without the encouragement of those around me. Many of them are here in this Zoom meeting. Thank you again for this honor. Congratulations to the students and good luck in your future careers, and congratulations to the other winners. Thank you.
And the plaque reads, Eastern Region PSEA proudly honors Lori Sherman as the recipient of the 2020 Julia B. Miles Champion for Children Award in recognition of outstanding dedication and service to our members and students throughout Eastern Region. Congratulations once again, Lori, well deserved. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Jeff Bryan to talk about our next student recipient.
Thank you, Brian. With me here right now, I have our recipient of the award, the scholarship from Berks County, Hamburg Area School District, and that's Amelia Adam. I teach second grade in the Hamburg School District, and I've been there for many years, over 20 years. And 10 years ago, I had the honor of having Amelia as one of my students in my second grade classroom. Amelia was always an 8-year-old little girl in my class, very enthusiastic. She had, you can tell from a very early age, she had a love of learning. She was a very well-rounded kid. One of the things I remember about Amelia in second grade was she really enjoyed twirling, and she would bring her a baton into school, and she would go out on the playground, and we'd have recess duty, and she would go out and she would twirl. And I was always very impressed at how good she was at this. And a couple of times I'd go out and I'd say, hey, give me that baton and let me give that a twirl. Well, let's just say I was not blessed with that skill, but fortunately for Amelia, she was. And it's something that has remained with her for all of her years in school. One of the things that Amelia did that I also recall, we would go and watch high school basketball games over at Hamburg, and every home game, Amelia would, from the time she was a second or third grader, would show up at the gym, and she would be our halftime presentation and do a phenomenal job with a twirling demonstration at halftime. And Amelia is going to attend Grand Valley State in Michigan, and she will be the feature twirler at her college, which I've got to tell you, I am very impressed that she was able to take that skill. I've heard several people talk about passion that people have, that our students have, that they carry with them throughout their years in school. And Amelia is a very passionate enthusiastic kid who takes that skill, that God-given ability that she has, and utilizes it. She's also been involved in other activities in our school district. She has participated in soccer. She's participated in gymnastics and dance, and she's also involved in our community here in Hamburg. She's a lifeguard at the Hamburg pool, and she has a part-time job at a local pizza place, and she does a great job in all of her endeavors, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be serving her community. As a student, she is a member of the National Honor Society, which just shows the hard work that she's put into her education over the years. And she continues to demonstrate that work ethic that has gotten her to this point in her educational career. I also remember 10 years ago when I had Amelia in class, one of the things she always would tell me is that when she grew up, she wanted to be a teacher. Not just any teacher, she wanted to be a second grade teacher. And a lot of kids tell you that when they're 7 or 8 years old. But Amelia at Grand Valley State is going to be majoring in elementary education. She is very excited and enthusiastic about pursuing this career. And we need outstanding young people such as Amelia to carry the torch moving forward in our profession. And I am highly confident that Amelia will be successful. She will be an outstanding teacher one day. And it is my honor to present to you Amelia Adam from the Hamburg Area School District as the 2021 recipient of the PSEA Eastern Region Scholarship.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Amelia Adam. I just want to start off by saying I am so grateful for all of you for being able to just pull this Zoom call off. It's definitely a sense of normalcy, just like because this year has been so crazy. I want to thank everyone that's around me right now. I have my grandparents here, my mom and my dad, and then Mr. Bryan and his wife are also here. They've just been a part of my adventure and my life forever, pretty much. So I want to thank them. And then, so I'll read my essay. Okay. So public education is a privilege for all children in the United States of America, a privilege that many people take for granted. But when we take a step back and really examine the public education system we experience, we can see how fortunate we really are. Education is a gift. We are given a free education in a safe environment and are taught by high quality educators. We are taught key materials for life, such as reading, writing, and math. We can't imagine not having an education like this. As we know, other countries do not offer the same education as we do in our country. Many third world countries do not even have a schooling system in place, and people are uneducated and cannot read. Children are made to work and help their families instead of going to school. These children grow up to be uneducated adults because they do not have the opportunity to receive the key materials they need for life in school. These people don't have the opportunity to better themselves like we do in the United States. Education opens doors and provides many more opportunities for a better life for not only my family and myself, but for the entire United States. Our public education system provided the tools to do just this. Over the years, our public education system has been tested by many factors, such as this year, with our global pandemic. Many public schools have been forced into virtual learning in order to protect everyone. Even with this weakened style of learning, our children are still provided with ideal knowledge that will guide them through their future. Our teachers have been thrown into a world of uncertainty and unknown, but have risen to the challenge and are still providing the most meaningful lessons for everyone. Our future of public education is changing, and the way teachers are teaching will continue to change. Public educators are teachers who embrace the challenge and do whatever it is needed to assure that each individual learns to the greatest potential possible. The future may appear different to the eye, but the drive that pushes will remain the same. Public education will continue to grow and provide the needed opportunities for a better life for all that are willing to learn. Personally, my schooling from kindergarten through the 12th grade has been in a small borough school in Eastern Pennsylvania. It was in a school district where everyone is familiar with each other, a community of learners in every sense of the word. My siblings and myself were especially known because my mother is a teacher in the elementary schools as a reading specialist. As long as I can remember, we were taught school is our #1 priority and is needed for life. This was instilled in me by my parents and my teachers throughout the years. So much that is my dream to continue this passion of learning and become a public school educator in an elementary school. Elementary school was the first time when I realized I was going to become an elementary school teacher. I was in 2nd grade when I realized what public education really was. It was a place where you could go and make yourself a better person with educators who wanted to watch and help you succeed. With that being said, I do not take for granted my education or any of the educators who have helped me become who I am. I am proud of where my education has taken me, and I'm anxious to become one of the many educators who help create the world we live in. I want to congratulate everyone who has received an award this year. And yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love seeing all the family members with the phones taking pictures, things like that. Please remember, if you're going to share tonight stories from tonight, use the hashtag Eastern PSEA, one word, hashtag Eastern PSEA, and please share your pictures on Instagram and Facebook so that we can all remember collectively the wonderful things about this evening. To introduce our next recipient, it is my pleasure to introduce the Lehigh County EA President, John Gackenbach. John.
Hi, good evening, my friends, my colleagues, brothers and sisters at PSEA. You have no idea how stressful it is to speak about your spouse publicly, because she's been ribbing me for weeks now, be nice, say nice things. Yeah, okay, so here we go. I better not mess up or I will pay for it for the rest of my life. I met Sandy in 2001, 20 years ago. And we were both teaching in different school districts. I must have come home one day and said, oh my gosh, my administration is just treating us so horribly. And she said to me, "They're get involved, shut up."
True story.
True story. And she made me go the right way. So I did get involved. I got involved with my building representative. I met Debbie Treader, who brought me right up into the executive committee. And next thing you know, here I am, PSEA, traveling all over Pennsylvania, and then NEA, traveling all over the country. So yeah, we got involved as a power couple. It was kind of like a working vacation, but we loved every minute of it. I want to say thank you so much to people like John Ritter, who passed with cancer many years ago and said to Sandy, hey girl, you're up now, and got her ready for this kind of position. And people like Audrey Matheson and Jane Cornati and Bernadette McHugh and now Terry Burnett, who always told Sandy she had what it takes to be a great leader. Do not be confused or taken by the sparkle in her eye or the power in her hair, because this girl can curse like a sailor and has the veracity of a mama bear with her union leadership. Yeah, absolutely. She is always so well informed about what is the right path to do for the power of pro education. I will be retiring this year, and Sandy, who is much younger, it has a few more years to go. I told Sandy I would be happy to drive her to school and bring her lunch. And she said, no, learn to cook dinner, my husband. So that is my goal in life right now. But I want you all to know that she cares so much for her people, her members. She treats them all with respect. The hours and hours spent on the phone or texting or replying to emails or talking her people off the ledge are incredible to me. There are certainly many days where she sits in her car and the dogs are barking, mama's home, but she is still on the phone talking to people and letting them know it will be okay and she will find a way to make everything okay for them. So I have a letter I would like to read to you from Richard Snizak, the superintendent of Sandy's district in Parkland. Congratulations to Mrs. Sandra Gockenbach, Parkland School District, Parkland Education Association President, on being named Eastern PSEA Presidential Legacy Award winner for 2021. She represents the highest ideals of teaching and leadership and richly deserves this recognition and accolades for her excellence, enthusiasm, and concern. Mrs. Gockenbach has demonstrated a deep commitment to outstanding leadership and service in her 13-year tenure as president of the Parkland Education Association. Mrs. Gockenbach's leadership style is centered upon trust, and trust in leadership is particularly important for effective organizations to function at a high level. She promotes cooperation and the sharing of information through two-way dialogue and discussion, recognizing the importance of communication and building and sustaining a strong relationship with her membership, district administration, and school board in the Parkland School District. She consistently exhibits leadership elements defined by her predictability, consistency, cooperation, and service on behalf of her members. In my capacity as superintendent of schools, I can attest that the open and honest communication between Mrs. Gockenbach and myself contributes toward the creation of a trusting environment, enabling us to work collaboratively through a number of recurring events that school district and unions encounter. She consistently demonstrates an understanding that a leader's behavior and actions convey a message, and that the message she conveys is one of collaboration, communication, consistency, honesty, integrity, and visibility. Mrs. Gockenbach has consistently demonstrated that high expectations brings high performance. This unique melding of personal and professional qualities has enabled Mrs. Gockenbach to lead her colleagues and her students and contribute towards a positive culture and climate in our school district. She recognizes that cooperative leaders develop trust, and leaders who are consistent in word and deed convey an approach that invites active participation. On behalf of the Parkland Board of School Directors and Parkland administration, we congratulate you on this most deserving recognition of creating a positive legacy of leadership and service in your role as Parkland Education Association President and a professional educator in the Parkland School District. Sincerely, Richard T. Snizak, Superintendent of Schools. So that was absolutely my honor share that with you tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And a few words from my beautiful wife.
Good evening, everyone. That was a lot, so I'm going to keep my remarks brief. I was very lucky to be the benefactor of a high-functioning union before I became president. And John listed some of my mentors that I look back to. Audrey and certainly the late John Ritter were instrumental in getting me involved. I was one of those union members who joined the union and was asked to come to a building meeting and be a representative and attend only one meeting a month that turned in and evolved into my career. And I couldn't be happier to be the president of the Parkland Education Association. This is year 13, so I'm hoping that those numerologists out there don't fault me for the pandemic in the 13th year of my presidency, because it's been a crazy one. But I am so proud of the legacy that I've brought to Parkland, which is a collaborative environment between our administration and the teachers. Prior to my presidency, it was unheard of to have monthly meetings with the superintendent, and my fabulous executive team, we meet monthly and have two-way conversations, even when there are not problems. Let's be real, this year, there were always problems. And I am just ever so proud of that and the people I work with. My membership is the backbone of our union also, and we are so proud to have 99% of our teachers part and active members in our association, and that is a really high amount, and that makes me so very proud. And it's because we have such a great infrastructure and building representatives and collective bargaining committee and executive committee that works so well. We are not just the union, we are friends as well. And I'm so proud of all of the students that are receiving awards tonight. Zachary, our 3 children feel your pain. John and I, being 2 teachers, we had our 3 children at home in the summer too. And they actually are in their 20s now and look back at it and say that was some of the best time in their life. So it'll happen for you too. Thank you, everyone. I am grateful for the honor.
Again, congratulations. The award reads, Eastern Region PSEA proudly honors Sandy Gockenbach as the recipient of the 2021 Eastern PSEA Presidential Legacy Award in recognition of outstanding dedication and commitment to our members and association. Congratulations again. Now, to introduce our next student recipient, we are going to do a video presentation by Jill Keebler.
Good evening. My name is Jill Keebler. I'm the theater director at Emmaus High School, and it is my pleasure to introduce Emmaus High School student Sarah Downey as a recipient of the PSEA Eastern Region Scholarship. Sarah's essay focused on why public education matters to me, my family, and the future. In her essay, Sarah describes the fulfillment that comes from actualizing a creative idea and bringing it to fruition through theater. Sarah's active participation in the creative process gave her confidence in herself as a writer, a producer, an artist, and a person. During the pandemic, the importance of public education took on new meaning for Sarah. To quote from her essay, "Public education has given me the mindset to work toward recentering an unbalanced earth. Public education contributes to a world that cares about our collective good. The future lies in our hands, and I see public education as a tool to create informed and active citizens." I have had the pleasure of working with Sarah over the past 4 years as a teacher, a director, and an advisor, and I cannot think of a more deserving student to receive this honor. Sarah will surely use the strong foundation of her public school education to actively pursue a bright future built on equity, compassion, and community. Congratulations, Sarah.
Sarah, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm honored to be here tonight. I'm so grateful to PSEA and their support of my continued education. Before I share my essay, I'd also like to thank my parents, not only for their support of my education, but the work they do every day as educators to make the world a better place. In the fuzzy silence of the black box ear, I pulled up a single spotlight on the lead actor. He shook himself awake, muttered his first line, and light stretched to reveal the disaster of an office I envisioned 6 months earlier. Over 2 semesters, I co-wrote, designed, and directed a one-act play performed for my drama class. The vision began as a spark between me and a friend in creative writing. Our teacher encouraged us to run with the idea. She gave us time, helped us work through rough spots, and pushed us to make the play better every week. I was proud of it at the end of the course. I showed it to Ms. Skiebler, May High School's drama teacher and one of the biggest supporters of my education and creative expression in high school. She wanted to give me the resources to produce the one act, and her encouragement allowed me to actualize my vision. Public education helped me realize that I want to pursue a career working on performance and that I'm capable of doing it. During the pandemic, the importance of public education took on new meaning for me. I noticed how school closures disproportionately affected underprivileged students who rely on school for internet access and a safe place to learn. Public education provides basic needs for students across the country. My dad has always said that the meaning of life is helping other people. That statement resonates with me now more than ever. I've grown up in a household that values equality, kindness, and honesty above all else. The public education system embodies the idea that life is about helping others. My parents are passionate about teaching because it contributes to the well-being and continuous growth of each generation. Continuous growth is necessary to face the paralyzing problems my generation will have to confront. Climate change is looming, wealth inequality is frightening, and no one can seem to communicate without a screen in the way. However, I believe public education has given me the mindset to work towards recentering an unbalanced earth. The decomposition cycle has taught me the world is a rhythm that balances itself, romanticism to reject materialism, world history and government to understand how people change and interact over time. I wish to live in a world where people take responsibility for their role in solving global problems and use their power to make corrective ripple effects. Public education contributes to a world that cares about our collective good. The future lies in our hands, and I see public education as a tool to create informed and active citizens. My journey as a public school student has shaped who I am. Countless teachers and administrators have supported me and made my experiences fuller. Public education is an integral piece of my family members' lives. Compassion for others is a guiding principle in my home. This value is upheld daily by the notion and practice that every person has a right to a free, accessible education. That practice is shaping a bright future. Public schooling meets the needs of individuals without regard for race, gender, or socioeconomic status. It represents true diversity that builds community and connects people. I couldn't be more proud of and thankful for the education I've received. Congratulations to all the other scholarship award recipients, and thank you again.
Congratulations, Sarah. Now to introduce our next awards recipients, it is my honor to introduce the Eastern Region Vice President, Jenna Broadhead.
Good evening, everyone. Before I present this award, I need to speak to the award's name, and I need to speak to my friend Julia Miles, because it has true meaning to the recipients of this award. For those of you that didn't know my friend Julia, she was fierce, and she didn't really let you know if she was angry with you. She just went about her business and did her thing, but she let me know if she was angry. And the interesting thing was, Julia didn't let obstacles stand in her way. So as a cancer survivor, Julia was my mentor when I was battling my own battles. And she was someone that I looked to for leadership and guidance. And so I would tell her something and she'd look at me and she'd say, so? And I would think this huge thing was standing in my way. And all Julia would say to me is, so? Kind of like, Jenna, figure it out, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. And Julia was also my vice president. And so I would sometimes look at her and say, okay, so what are we going to do about it? And I remember as Julia was losing her battle with cancer, we would laugh because in her last days, her husband was taking her phone away from her because he didn't want her to worry or do whatever. And she would text me and say, I got my phone. And she would need information from the outside world. And we just kept things real. And this year's recipients of the Julia B. Miles Champion for Children Award are exactly the same. Wayne and Elaine look at the world and say, so they don't allow obstacles to exist. The obstacles may be large. They may be enormous, but they find ways around them. They find ways over them, and ultimately they find ways through them. Elaine can look at a watermelon and turn it into a smorgasbord. But what not everybody knows about Wayne and Elaine, because yes, they are truly one person connected in all of our hearts, is the work that they do behind the scenes stems so far beyond the work that we see on the surface. And Julia would be so proud. She would hate that this award is named after her. Please don't get me wrong on that. But she would be so proud that her name is attached, that something is going to our friends and our family, Wayne and Elaine. So on behalf of Eastern Region, I am very proud to present this year's Champion for Children Award to our friends and family, Wayne and Elaine. Wayne, Elaine, the floor is all yours. You're good, Wayne.
All right. Thank you, Jenna. Julia was an amazing woman that touched so many of our lives. And it was neat because knowing Julia, she wore so many hats. She was your vice president. She was also president of the association. She was a teacher in the Easton School District for so long. And I think how Elaine and I got to meet her was as the committee chair for the Retirement and Welfare Committee, where we worked with her for many years. And she was just so organized and level-headed. And anyone that knew her has to be thankful for that privilege. And oftentimes, at the moment, we don't realize the gratitude we hold for a person we meet or an event that we're part of that changed our lives forever. And Julia was that person. And when you're in the field of education, those times happen more than we realize until we begin to think back over our careers.
As the years pass, we all develop memories that stay with us for a lifetime. If you ask an outsider about those memories, they may say that the day the Challenger exploded is one of them in 1986, or the terroristic attacks of 9/11, or the siege on our Capitol in 2021. At the time, they do seem like the forever images of our career. As educators, we try to grasp it in our own mind, what is actually happening. And during those moments, at the same time, we help our students make sense of it all. Kobe Bryant said, everything negative, pressure, challenges, etc., are all opportunities for you to rise. It's the simple happenings, the events that most never even know happened, that Wayne and I will cherish as the best moments of our teaching careers. One such time was a senior who all of a sudden started failing every subject. And no matter what we did or how we tried to help, he continued to fail until ultimately he didn't graduate that year, only to learn from him that he purposely failed to have 1 more year with us. Or the time we received a letter from a young man in prison letting us know that he's doing well and he has earned his diploma. Or the 17-year-old young man who just this year, on a virtual meeting, he blurts out, I could just cry, I hate this virtual stuff. Those are the memories that will go on forever with us. Those are the moments in time that we'll forever remember. Those are the opportunities that make each day not just a job, but nothing that we both feel so blessed to have experienced. For Wayne and I, the field of education in PSEA has created a community without even trying. At times, teaching seems to be a profession like none other. We're all hired under the job description of teacher, paraprofessional, administrator, service personnel, etc. But within a short amount of time, we become friends and family who celebrate the successes together, laugh at the things only educators believe could ever happen, or cry for one another during the toughest of times. As we are developing our career in the classroom, we're also oftentimes developing our skills at the union level as well. For us, it is here that we found ourselves learning not only in the actual trainings and workshops, but also places like outside the table at the Cub on the campus of Gettysburg College, talking with others from around the state, learning from the real life experiences.
If you're blessed enough, you'll work with someone who becomes your best friend. Now, something that you should know, Lane and I have taught in the same classroom for 29 school years. That's not next door to each other, but within the same confines. Sometimes it was very difficult. John, I understand what you're saying, what you said about being with Sandy and how it could cause problems later. I got to watch what I'm saying here too. But like all true best friends, they're there for the ups and the downs, whether it be at work or after hours. For Lane and I, that friendship has led to weekend outings, family vacations, and probably the most significant adventure we ever imparted on together was in creating something called the Hope Initiative, which is a support group that we still run today for loved ones affected by the disease of addiction. And we started that support group from a bad experience of my son heroin addiction about 9 years ago. I guess we started this group, and between Laney and family, we got through this, and we decided that we weren't going to allow other families to experience what I was going through and what my family was. And she was right there with me, and kind of cool, because in about a month, my son will celebrate 7 years of sobriety. And we've worked and helped over 500 families in the years that we've worked together. So one of the things, there's a famous historian and teacher at Princeton University. His name is Kevin Kruse. And he made a statement that said, life is about making an impact and not an income. And if that's something I can impart on all you scholarship winners, it's not about what you make, it's what you do, what people remember you for. Now, we also feel we're so humble and blessed to be considered, let alone receive the Julia B. Miles Champion for Children Award this year. And we have so many people to thank. We thank Bryan and Jenna and Lori and Tim and Amy and Adam and John and Sandy and our family that we met through PSEA, because you guys all have encouraged and motivated us to step out of our comfort zone and be part of making a difference. And for that, we will be eternally grateful. And at the same time, we would like to congratulate Natalie and Zachary and Amelia and Sarah. And we're going to congratulate Zachary here again in a minute, Zachary Morrow. And also Debbie, who we met at Gettysburg, and Lori, who we served with, and Sandy, who we've known ever since we're part of PSEA. It is such an honor and blessing to be known with you. So like I said, thank you for allowing us to be part of making a difference.
I'd like to end it with just one more thought, one more, I guess, quote that we kind of go by, and it's something from Audrey Hepburn. It says, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Even though you're both co-recipients, you'll each get your own plaque. Don't worry, you don't have to share it. And of course, it does say Eastern Region PSEA proudly honors Elaine Hinderleiter / Wayne Smith as the recipient of the 2021 Julia Miles Champion for Children Award in recognition of outstanding dedication and service to our members and students throughout Eastern Region. Again, congratulations. To introduce our final student recipient, Mr. Bill Swan.
Hi, my name is Bill Swan from Blue Mountain High School, and I am here to introduce Zach Morrow. I would like to start off by congratulating all of the honorees tonight for being selected. I'm sure you're all hardworking and really value your education greatly, and that's an impressive trait to have. And that's what reminds me of Zach. When I think of him, I think of someone that just wants to learn anything and everything that he can get his hands on. He's been a top student of mine as a junior, and as a senior, he took an independent study with me, and I've never had a better independent study student work for me. He is constantly finding new things to do without me having to help him, and he understands what he's doing, and he just gets to work. He just likes to learn. And so for that, Zach, you've impressed me greatly, and I can't think of a better student to obtain this honor. And so congratulations, Zach. You really deserve it, and great job.
Congratulations, Zach. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I am pleased, honored, and humbled to be a recipient of the Eastern Region Pennsylvania State Education Association Scholarship. I would like to express my gratitude towards those who have selected me for this prestigious award, as well as those who support this wonderful organization. Students often overlook the time and dedication educators invest into their career, trying their best to develop their students into mature, well-rounded young adults. With that noted, I humbly and graciously thank all educators for devoting their lives to facilitating a better society. I would also like to thank my family and friends for their endless support and aiding me to become the man I am today. I would also like to extend a special thank you to my chemistry teacher, Mr. William Swan. This gentleman has been my biggest asset throughout my high school career. Let alone challenging me and teaching me to think outside of the box, he developed a personalized independent study with me to help me explore topics such as biochemistry, organic chemistry, experimental chemistry, and transition metal chemistry, which are all unexplored topics in generic courses. Through his excellent educational style and never-ending dedication, he has prepared me to pursue my life dreams in pharmaceutical research and development. Once again, I would like to congratulate all honorees tonight at this ceremony, and I would like to thank you for selecting me for this wonderful scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations. And finally, to wrap up this evening's festivities, it's my honor to present our region parliamentarian, Bob Kachmar. Bob?
Thank you, Brian. We just want to say congratulations to all of the scholarship winners tonight. We wish you the best of luck on the next leg of your journey. Debbie and Sandy, congratulations. Julia Miles was my next door neighbor. She lived 2 houses away from me, so it's kind of weird for me as well. And so I really think that Lori and Wayne and Elaine, you match her legacy, like absolutely. The Eastern Region officers, then thank you all for coming this evening, all of you. We look forward to seeing those of you that are attending the House of Delegates tomorrow morning. And so from all of us here, have a great night. And that's it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. Again, if you're going to share pictures, Eastern PSEA, use that hashtag. And then over the weekend, you'll find us on Facebook and Instagram as well, and maybe even Twitter. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening, and congratulations again to all our recipients. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Nice job, Brian.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Nice job, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you to my team for putting this together. Appreciate you all.
Everybody, great job.
Marie, shocker, I love you.
Guys, I miss you so much. It was so good to see everyone.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Love you, Lori.
Wayne, not one snarky comment out of Wayne Smith all night. Could you please just give me a
Listen, nothing snarky. There's no Tim anymore.
Wayne, are you wearing pants? Can you
No.
just tell me your okay, thank you.
Here, hold on. I'll show you.
Yes, okay.
Maybe I'll cut out the recording right before that moment.
Love you guys. Thank you for everything. See yous.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
See you, Wayne.
guys.
See you, Adam.
Bye,
Debbie.
Bye-bye.
Great, so good to see you.
What time tomorrow morning?
I think
We'll
Brian's
open it
gonna
at
be
8.
there at 8:30, right?
I'll be there at 8:30. Yeah.
Okay. With or without the music?
No music. The music was just for this.
Who's waking me up in the morning?
Yeah. Yep. Nope. 8:30. I'll see you
All
guys
right.
then.
See you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Debbie.
Take care, Brian.